If you're over 65, this could change how you age forever. Not a facility. Not isolation. Just freedom with support. Stick around. Your future might just look better than you think. Have you ever asked yourself, what if I don't want a nursing home? You're not alone. Every single day, thousands of older adults silently carry the fear of ending up in a place that feels cold, controlled, and far from home. But here's the good news. There are better ways to age on your own terms, with your independence and identity intact. In this video, we'll walk through 7 powerful, real-life alternatives to nursing home options that are modern, flexible, and deeply human. Whether you're 65 or 85, whether you live alone or with family, there's something here that could transform the way you think about aging. So grab a cup of tea, sit back, and let's discover what living well after 65 truly looks like. Chapter 1. Staying at home with in-home care. There's a quiet but dangerous assumption that once you reach a certain age, your home becomes a risk too many stairs. Too few check-ins, too isolated. And so, the knee-jerk reaction is, it's time for a facility. But that's outdated thinking. Modern in-home care has changed the game completely. You no longer need to choose between living independently and being safe. Today, you can have both in your own living room, your own bed, your own garden. A 2022 study from the National Institute on Aging found that seniors who receive structured in-home support are 42% less likely to experience cognitive decline than those who move into institutional settings. Why? Because they're surrounded by the anchors of their identity. Let's talk about what's happening inside the brain. Your hippocampus, the region responsible for memory and spatial orientation, relies on familiar visual cues. The more often you see your favorite armchair, your kitchen window, or the lamp your spouse picked out 30 years ago, the more stable your brain feels. This kind of visual continuity reduces the stress hormone cortisol and increases levels of serotonin, the mood stabilizer. In contrast, a sudden shift to an institutional setting can trigger disorientation, confusion, and even a condition called transfer trauma, real and serious psychological response in older adults. So when people say there's no place like home, the science actually backs that up. Let's make this practical. In-home care is not a uniform package. It's customizable, scalable, and designed around the individual. Some seniors only need help with light housekeeping, meal preparation, medication reminders. Others may require more intimate support, bathing, dressing, mobility assistance, chronic illness monitoring, like diabetes or hypertension. You can start with 2 hours a day, 3 days a week. Then scale up as needs evolve. Some families even start with a wellness visit once a week, just to ease into the process. The key is this. It's not about being taken care of. It's about having just enough support to keep life flowing. Meet Nancy, age 77. Widowed, early-stage arthritis, forgets her afternoon pills now and then. Her daughter lives 3 states away. Nancy didn't want a stranger in her house, but she didn't want to move either. Now she has a caregiver who comes every morning at 9 a.m., helps with breakfast, does a safety check, and leaves by 11. Nancy still does her own crossword puzzles, still waters the roses, still watches Jeopardy in the afternoon. And here's the beautiful part. She doesn't feel watched. She feels respected. Her daughter told me, this level of autonomy with a light safety net is what many seniors crave. Not full control, not full surrender. Just the space to still be themselves. You don't need to wait for an emergency. Here are 5 early signs that in-home care could make a huge difference. 1. Frequent medication errors, missed or doubled doses. 2. Unsteadiness or minor falls, especially in the bathroom or kitchen. 3. Increasing withdrawal from hobbies or social calls. 4. Poor nutrition, either skipping meals or eating mostly processed food. 5. Unattended hygiene. Same clothes every day. Dirty laundry piling up. In all these cases, a few hours of support per week can prevent a cascade of decline. Living with adult children in a supportive arrangement. When people hear the idea of living with their adult children, they often imagine one of two things: either total dependence, a parent reduced to a burden, or complete role reversal, the child now fully in charge. But the truth is, today's multi-generational living is not about going backward. It's about designing something new, something that preserves independence, enhances daily connection, and respects personal space. This isn't grandma sleeping on the couch in the living room. This is about intentional co-living, with defined boundaries, mutual benefit, and shared values. From a psychological standpoint, older adults who feel needed experience lower rates of depression, improved immune response, higher levels of life satisfaction and resilience. Why? Because the human brain thrives on purpose and social utility. When a grandparent can help pack lunches, listen to a child's story, or share wisdom at the dinner table, oxytocin, bonding hormone, increases. So does dopamine, the same neurochemical that spikes when we fall in love or achieve something meaningful. Compare that to a care home, where seniors often report feeling like background noise in their own life. The difference is profound and measurable. Let's talk about architecture for a second. The most successful living arrangements often involve some level of separation, not emotionally, but physically. Think finished basement apartments, garage loft conversions, tiny backyard homes, granny pods, private rooms with ensuite bathrooms. This model allows older adults to maintain a routine that's theirs, not someone else's. They can have morning quiet, eat when they prefer, or even host a friend while still being within reach of family. James, 81, moved into his daughter's converted attic with a kitchenette and his own entrance. "I'm not a guest," he told me. "I'm part of the ecosystem, but I have my own climate." This setup only works if it's built on clear agreements. Before moving in, both sides should talk openly about what help is expected, childcare, errands, bills, what privacy means, knock before entering quiet hours, how shared meals or family time will be handled, what happens if care needs increase over time. The most common source of tension? Unspoken assumptions. By treating this like a partnership, not a rescue, families can preserve love, dignity, and long-term peace. In short, it's not just about moving in. It's about moving in with intention. Chapter 3. Aging in place with smart home modifications. For generations, aging in place meant stubbornly staying in a house that no longer fit the body. Dangerous stairs, slippery tiles, bad lighting. But today, aging in place means something different. It means upgrading your environment to grow with you, not against you. With the help of smart technologies and thoughtful physical modifications, seniors can now live longer at home, not just safely, but with confidence. A Harvard study on aging and housing found that over 70% of adults aged 65 plus want to remain in their homes, but only 13% of homes are ready for aging residents. That gap is what smart tech is helping to close. Here are 5 of the most impactful home modifications for older adults. 1. Motion sensor lighting. Automatically turns on when you enter a room. Especially useful at night to prevent falls on the way to the bathroom. 2. Walk-in tubs or showers. Reduce the risk of slipping. No need to step over a high bathtub edge. 3. Grab bars in bathrooms and hallways. Essential for stability and reducing joint strain. 4. Non-slip flooring, especially in kitchens and bathrooms, where water spills are common. 5. Stair lifts. For multi-level homes, these preserve access to all areas without requiring a move. These aren't luxury upgrades. They're functional longevity tools. Linda, 79, had a minor fall in her kitchen and decided it was time for change. Within 3 weeks of upgrading her lighting, flooring, and installing grab bars, she told us, "I don't feel old anymore, I feel capable again." Smart devices are no longer just for millennials. Seniors are embracing voice-controlled assistants like Alexa or Google Home to set reminders, make phone calls, or turn off lights hands-free. Automated pill dispensers that release the right dose at the right time, often with verbal reminders like, "It's 2:00 p.m., time for your blood pressure medication." Fall detection systems with wall or ceiling sensors, no need for a panic button. If you fall, help is notified automatically. Smart fridges that send alerts when food is going bad, reducing the risk of foodborne illness. Thermostats that auto-adjust to prevent temperature extremes, a major risk factor for heart conditions in older adults. These tools don't feel invasive. When done right, they're subtle. They don't shout, "You're being watched." They whisper, "You're being supported." Meet Harold, 81. His son was worried after a series of near falls and memory slips. Instead of uprooting his father, they installed a smart hub, an automatic nightlight system, a remote health check-in button. Now Harold lives alone but never feels alone. That's the promise of modern aging in place. Not just surviving at home, but thriving, with technology as your quiet, respectful ally. Chapter 4. Multigenerational living with clear boundaries. Multigenerational living is making a comeback, but this time, it's intentional. It's not about defaulting to live with your kids because you have no choice. It's about choosing to build a shared life that still respects personal independence. Across the U.S., more than 1 in 5 households now includes 3 generations or more under one roof, according to Pew Research. But there's a twist. The success of these living situations comes down to one word: boundaries. Without them, it becomes chaos. With them, it becomes connection. One of the biggest fears older adults have when moving in with family is becoming invisible, or worse, becoming the built-in babysitter. But with open communication and mutual respect, roles can be defined with clarity. You're not moving in to be taken care of. You're not there to repay your children. You're joining a system that works both ways. Mary, 83, lives with her daughter and son-in-law in a private suite attached to the main house. She cooks Sunday dinner by choice, reads stories to her grandkids, and still attends her weekly quilting circle. What makes it work? They don't treat me like furniture or a patient. I have a schedule, a space, and a say. A successful multi-generational home isn't just about emotional rules, it's about architectural intention. Some examples that preserve dignity include a separate entrance, a dedicated kitchenette, individual laundry units, soundproofed walls or quiet zones. It's about creating space for togetherness and space for solitude. Not every moment has to be shared, and that's okay. That's healthy. Just like children need boundaries to feel secure, seniors need boundaries to feel respected. Before you move in or invite someone in, ask these questions. What parts of the home are private versus shared? What are the expectations for meals, cleaning, and social time? What happens if health deteriorates or care needs increase? Are finances transparent and agreed upon? Write it down, revisit it quarterly. Because even the best arrangements need recalibration. Remember, love alone is not enough. Structure is the glue that makes love last without resentment. Chapter 5. Independent living communities with on-demand support. Too often, seniors think their only choices are stay at home and risk isolation or move into a nursing facility and sacrifice autonomy. But there's a third path: independent living communities with support when you want it, not when it's forced on you. These communities are not nursing homes. They're for seniors who are still active, mobile, and decision-capable, but want to live where help is nearby, friendships are possible, and lifestyle is honored. Imagine your own private apartment or cottage, but with housekeeping on call, a cafe downstairs, weekly yoga, art classes, or tech tutorials, transportation assistance when you need it. Freedom doesn't mean isolation. It means choices. Loneliness isn't just unpleasant, it's deadly. Research from Brigham Young University shows that chronic loneliness increases all-cause mortality risk by up to 29% in older adults. It's equivalent, biologically, to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Independent living communities are proactive remedies to that problem. In these spaces, seniors are surrounded by peers in the same life stage. It's easier to start a conversation, join a walking group, attend a trivia night, or simply share coffee with someone who understands loss, memory, and meaning. There's dignity in being seen, not managed, not controlled, but seen. Let's bust a myth. You don't lose privacy in these places. In fact, you gain it, because you're not constantly being watched. You're notified only when necessary. Need help with groceries? Call the concierge. Can't reach something on a shelf? A maintenance worker is a phone call away. Feel lightheaded one morning? There's a wellness center one building over. The care is opt-in, not automatic. That's the point. Ron, 78, joined a community like this after his wife passed. His kids were far away, and the house felt like a museum of grief. Now, he hikes every morning, has lunch with friends, and still cooks dinner in his own kitchen. As he says, "I'm still independent, but now I laugh more." That counts for something. These communities are not one size fits all. Some focus on wellness, nature, with gardens, tai chi, and walking paths. Arts, creativity, with painting studios and music groups. Learning, discussion, with guest lectures and book clubs. You can choose the flavor that fits your spirit, not just your birth date. The result? A lifestyle that doesn't just extend life, but enriches it. You're not just avoiding decline, you're designing your next chapter, actively and intentionally. Chapter 6. Aging in place with smart technology. When people hear smart home technology, they often think of gadgets, wires, or futuristic homes for the rich. But today's tech is designed to be invisible, intuitive, and deeply human. For seniors, it's not about keeping up with trends. It's about staying independent without living in fear. What if you fall and no one knows? What if you forget a crucial medication? What if the heater breaks in winter and you're too disoriented to notice? Smart technology doesn't replace your autonomy. It protects it. Here are just a few smart tools that are transforming the way seniors safely age at home. 1. Fall detection sensors, installed in walls or ceilings. No need to press a button. If you fall, help is alerted automatically. 2. Voice-activated reminders. Devices like Alexa or Google Home gently say, "It's time to take your heart medication." Or, "Your daughter will call in 15 minutes. 3. Automatic pill dispensers. Preloaded by family or nurses. Dispense the right dose at the right time. Some notify caregivers remotely if pills are skipped. 4. Smart lighting. Motion sensor lights illuminate your path to the bathroom at 2 a.m. No fumbling for switches. 5. Temperature. Safety alerts. Smart thermostats. Prevent extreme indoor temperatures. And smoke. Carbon monoxide detectors send alerts straight to your phone or to loved ones. These aren't luxuries. They're confidence tools, quiet guardians in the background. Harold, 81, lives in the same house he built with his wife 50 years ago. After she passed, his son worried about him being alone. Instead of pushing for assisted living, they upgraded the home. Fall sensors in the bathroom. Voice assistant in the kitchen. Video doorbell synced to his phone. Medical alert bracelet with GPS. Now, Harold checks the weather by asking out loud. He gets his pill reminder at 10:00 a.m. sharp. If he forgets to respond, his son gets a quiet ping, not a panic. It's like having a silent partner, Harold says. One that doesn't negust helps. Here's the most important thing to remember. Smart technology is not surveillance. It's empowerment. You're not giving up your privacy. You're gaining the ability to live alone, securely, and on your own terms with dignity intact. In a world where independence often fades with age, this is how we give it back. Not by asking for less, but by supporting more. Chapter 7. Intergenerational Living Communities. There's a powerful shift happening in how older adults are choosing to live, and it's not about retreating to gated retirement communities. It's about rejoining the rhythm of everyday life alongside people of all ages. Intergenerational living communities are designed to break down silos. No more neighborhoods where every house is gray-haired, every dinner is solitary, and every conversation is about medication. Instead, imagine this. You live next door to a young teacher, a college student, or a single parent. You share garden plots, community meals, or even book clubs. You trade wisdom for energy, stories for Spotify playlists. This is not charity. It's not dependency. It's mutual enrichment. Joan, 76, moved into an intergenerational housing project in Oregon after losing her husband. Now, she runs a weekly poetry group attended by local high schoolers. In exchange, they help her set up her Zoom calls, change light bulbs, and teach her new apps she never knew she'd enjoy. She says, "I used to feel like my world was closing. Now, every Thursday, it opens again." This model is built around shared humanity, not roles. There's no hierarchy. Just humans, helping humans live more meaningfully. And the benefits go both ways. Seniors show slower cognitive decline in these environments. Younger people gain empathy, wisdom, and perspective beyond their age group. It's like an extended family without the pressure or the baggage. These communities aren't accidents, they're engineered for interaction. You'll often find shared kitchens, open green spaces, libraries, walking paths, and activity centers, community bulletin boards for events, and neighborly help. They're structured like villages, not facilities. There are no sterile lobbies. No, "you stay on your side" floor plans, and no loud nurse call buzzers. Just neighbors, some old, some young, all in this thing called life together. We tend to treat loneliness like an emotion. But for seniors, it's more than that. It's a biological threat. Social isolation increases the risk of heart disease, dementia, and even death. But connection? That's medication you don't need a prescription for. In these intergenerational spaces, Seniors reclaim purpose. They laugh more, move more, and look forward to each day, not just endure it. Sometimes, the most healing thing isn't a pill or a procedure. It's just someone knocking on your door and saying, "Hey, want to eat together tonight?" Final thoughts. Aging forward, not backward. What we've seen today isn't a list of alternatives to nursing homes. It's a map of possibilities designed around dignity, shaped by choice, and rooted in respect for the person you've always been. Because here's the truth. Growing older doesn't mean growing invisible. Needing help doesn't mean losing yourself. Changing how you live doesn't mean giving up who you are. Whether it's hiring a home caregiver for just a few hours a day, building a peaceful suite next to your daughter's home, or finding a vibrant, multi-generational community that lights up your soul, you still have a say. You deserve to live in a place that remembers your name, honors your pace, and gives you something to look forward to each morning. Lesson learned. You've lived through decades of decisions, sacrifices, and strength. Don't let society's outdated model dictate how you spend your most powerful years. Ask yourself, which path would let you feel most like you? Which space gives you room to still grow, not just exist? The goal is not simply to extend life, but to enrich it. CTA, let's build better aging together. If this video gave you hope, clarity, or even just a new question to explore, and keep it to yourself. Like this video if you believe aging should be a journey of choice, not confinement. Comment below. Which of these 7 living options spoke to you the most and why? Share this with someone facing a tough decision for a parent, a partner, or themselves. Audi. And most importantly, subscribe to this channel. We create content that empowers you to age not just with safety, but with vision. Because the best years of your life may very well be the ones you design from here forward.